Despite the pullbacks on masking and capacity rules, the fourth wave in Colorado for COVID is not over.
Yeah, the number of people getting sick in the last 24 hours has climbed back over 1,245 people with COVID. The number of people hospitalized, though, keeps going down. It is now at 521. That is down over 100 from a week ago. The number of deaths linked to the virus is now nearing 6,600. Jacqueline Quinn live tonight in Glendale for us. And Jacqueline, you got a feel for where Colorado stands right now in the fight against COVID.
And Karen, you just mentioned some of those numbers, and the bottom line here is that this virus is still out there. It's circulating. So I talked with an ER doctor and somebody who tracks this data. They really looked at us, and they told us that right now, it's enough to be concerned. And really, even if people do get sick, things are different this time when you're looking at the case numbers because there is a vaccine out there and there's better treatment.
Actually, the severity of the cases seems to have dropped off. People are still coming in positive, with positive tests.
Dr. Noah Kaufman works in the ER in northern Colorado.
But really, it's not quite the same severity of COVID that we were seeing, especially with that second spike.
Recent data for the 7-day case average was about 1,200, which topped other states.
So the number I track most closely is the number of people admitted to the hospital per day with COVID-19. I think that is a really strong indicator of how much severe disease we're having.
Elizabeth Carlton is a professor at the Colorado School of Public Health.
On average, in December, when things were at their worst in Colorado, we were admitting about 280, 290 people per day with COVID-19. Over the last few weeks, that's been as high as 100 people per day on average, and now we're dropping down to less than 70 people.
However, last summer at the low, it was less than 20 people a day.
One of the best ways, apart from vaccination, which is the best way to slow the infections, is for people to wear masks.
But Dr. Kaufman tells us time is running out for people to follow COVID-19 restrictions.
We're not as worried because you can go get a great vaccine and the chances of dying and chances of being very, very sick are much lower.
And something else that's interesting, Carlton tells us that we are not out of that fourth wave yet. In Denver, I'm Jacqueline Quinn covering Colorado First.